So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. Exclusively designed by Nixie Nax Arts, we bring you our second exclusive mat with the colossal Rainbow Neos taking on Red Eyes Dragoon, using both Dark Magician and Red Eyes alongside Elemental Hero Neos and of course Rainbow Dragon. Produced by Venom Battle Gear, this is an exclusive mat only available from their site. You can get this mat both with and without zones, and it can be shipped worldwide. What are you waiting for? Visit venombattlegear.co.uk to get your own exclusive Rainbow Neos versus Red Eyes Dragoon playmat.
What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr War Games, and I'm bringing to you guys a budget Marinecess deck profile. And why is it budget? Because everything got reprinted. The Megatins was one of my favourite things lately. For one of those reasons. I've been wanting to build the Marinecess deck for a while. I actually really like the anime decks. I think the anime decks are really fun. I think the Marinecess playstyle of just like easy link climbs, all water attribute based and things like that. I just think their designs are really, it's a really cool designed deck. It's a really nicely designed deck. And I just really like the playstyle. So, but it was really difficult to build because of its budget. I didn't want to fork out too much for the Marinecess deck initially, because it was just going to be that fun deck that I would just like have on the side, play around with some friends of mine, or like if there's a newcomer that comes up to me, he's like, oh, you can, yeah, teach me the game. You're like, this is that easy deck that I could, like a good fun deck that I can just like play off against them, just to get them understand the game with a bit without being too much. So I really like the Marinecess deck for that, but I just didn't like the price for that. I didn't want to pay out too much for it. But then everything got reprinted in the Megatins, which is absolutely fantastic. It's so cheap to make. Just regarding the secret rare blue tang here on the front, you can pick up the whole deck for about £20 or so, like just off somebody. You know, like you just spent a lot for, like, put a lot into the Megatins. They got all these left over because they're like supers and commons and rares in the set. Like some of the link monsters are ultra, but even then they're cheap. You could probably just like, hey, here's 20 quid, give me the whole Marinecess deck, and they can just easily give that to you. Silent Mining got reprinted as well. I've got now so many copies of Silent Mining. It's great because I have so many Cyber's decks, and I got now so many copies of it. That's now cheap. You could probably get a playset of that for about £5 to £10 off somebody, probably. It's just so good. So I really wanted to bring this deck to you guys. I was really excited to bring this deck to you guys. All the cards just arrived in the post here today of recording this video. So here's the deck for you. But before I do all that, a big shout out to Aerosol TCG on here on YouTube. His videos on the Marinecess deck and combos were really insightful, really good to look at. So a lot of this build is inspired by him, but it's got good ideas towards it. I've put in some like small text in myself, just to fit the play style, while also fitting in the theme and everything like that. Also helps with the combos. I will show you, I will obviously give more competitive ideas for this as well, like so for some of the text in here you can swap them out for more competitive focused cards if you have them. But yeah, the initial concept is here for you. But again, big shout outs to LSL TCG. There will be a 1-card combo at the end as well. Just so if you are new to Marinecess and you're using this video as your first time look, you've got your basic 1-card combo here at the end. So to get you started. So before all that as well, big like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy it here on the channel. Big like, subscribe, just like and subscribe if you enjoy this, and ding that notification bell as well, because as I always tell you guys, if you enjoy a video on the guy's channel and if you enjoy the content, you obviously don't want to miss it, and that notification bell helps prevent that, and all of that is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. I've been rambling on for nearly 4 minutes now, and I haven't even shown you the first playset of cards in the deck. So, let's get into Blue Angels Marinecess deck. So, starting off with 3 copies of Blue Tang. This, along with Seahorse, are like your main 1-card starters. They are the main starter plays. You want to see these as soon as possible, so you play the 3 of them. So if you don't know what Blue Tang does, she's essentially a Foolish Burial on legs for the deck. When this card is normal or special summon, you can send 1 Marinecess monster from your deck to grave, except Blue Tang. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for the link summon of a water monster, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, add 1 excavated Marinecess card to your hand. Also shuffle the rest into the deck. You can use each effect of Blue Tang once per turn. So you either want to see her or your next card, which is Seahorse, because they just get you going. Blue Tang mostly because it dumps the Seahorse, and the Seahorse is your 1-card starter, while also being the extender in the case of Blue Tang. If you don't know what Seahorse does, she is amazing. So you can special summon this card from your hand to a zone of Marinecess link monster points. So you can only special summon the Marinecess Seahorse once per turn this way. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from the graveyard, special summon 1 water monster from your hand to a zone of Marinecess link monster points to. You can use this effect of Seahorse once per turn. So really good card. Just again, 1-card starter. You see at the end, like, it's insane how amazing like these cards float with each other. It's just like so good. So Seahorse, gotta play at 3. Blue Tang, gotta play at 3. They were both expensive and now stupid cheap. Like really, really good. So next we have Marinecess Pascalis. So she wasn't in the Megatins, but what she came in Ignition Assault. So she was one that the OCG got, and then we just got imported in Ignition Assault. So if this card's normal special summon, you can special summon 1 Marinecess from your hand in defense position, except Pascalius. During your main phase, except the turn was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Marinecess spell or trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can use each effect of Marinecess Pascalius once per turn. So she's a nice extender, can starter card. Essentially, if you don't have Seahorse somehow, but you have something else, like, you know, or even if you do have Seahorse and Blue Tang, you can just still go Pascalis, specials on one of those, go into your link climbs and keep going from there. Essentially means if you open up this along with Seahorse, your 1-card combo becomes a 2-card combo, but then you get to keep your Seahorse's effect for later, which is very, very nice, and it can help extend a little bit further. Not too much, but just a little bit further, and that's still very, very good. So we play 3 copies of Pascalis. And then for the last of Marinecess monsters, we are playing the 1 Marinecess Mandarin. So she's really nice. She's flopping all over the place. So if you control 2 or more Marinecess monsters while this card's in your hand or graveyard, you can target 1 water link monster you control, special summon this card to your zone that monster points to, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can use this effect of Mandarin once per turn. So you can up her if you want to. I've been thinking of upping her to 2 personally. But she's a nice extender, a 1-for-1 target for if you do want to up the copies of this. If you want to play like 2 or 3 copies, you can then toss in a 1-for-1. So she can kind of act as a pseudo starter, which is very, very good. So what's really good about the Marinecess cards is like all of them are starters, but they're also extenders, which is really, really good. Your best starters are Blue Tang and Seahorse, but everything else can act as a pseudo starter, which is very, very good. It's just one reason why this deck flows so well. And then we play 5 extra cards that just help extend with Water's plays. I've gone with Tenyi Spirit Shatana, as well as 2 copies of Aqua Spirit. The original profile that I based this on was playing the monster I played my shark deck. It's just like the big fish that if you control water you can special summon it. I don't have extra copies of that, but I think Aqua Spirit just works just as well. It doesn't lock you out from anything like the water extender does, the fish extender. And all she just takes is a banish from from your graveyard. And she also fits the theme, I think, as well. Like she just fits very well. Shatana's just a really nice water extender as well. Also got reprinted in Megatins, while this one's a common. Yeah, as long as you control no monsters, or if you just control vanillas, or just non-effect monsters, free summon. So if you open them up with this and like your Blue Tang, special this, normal Blue Tang, go off from there. It also opens up rank 4 players as well as Aqua Spirits. It's very, very nice, which we do play in the extra deck. So that's it for the monsters. Moving on to spells. 2 copies of Battle Ocean. I like to play 2 copies of it. A lot of people just play 1 copy. I just think that if this does get outed, this is like your main form of protection, as well as making your monsters just huge and tough to get over with. So that's why I'm playing a 2nd copy in the deck. You don't have to, you can take it out easily. This would probably be the thing I would take out if I played additional Mandarins, which then means I could then play 1 for 1. I'd probably swap this for 1 for 1. But at the moment, I'm enjoying it. It's just nice. It just means that if your 1 Battle Ocean does get outed, you're not having to hope to draw to the card to recover it. You can just search the 2nd one. 3 copies of Signet Mining, finally. Just a super. It's just fine. Super is good. Super is what it should have been. It didn't need to be a stupid secret. But as beautiful as the secret is. But yes, finally, Super Signet Minings. Nice and cheap, nice and budget. This card searches out everything in your deck that isn't a Cyberse, basically. 3 copies of Desires. You can drop this down to 2 if you want to. I also play 1 pot of Avarice. You run through your extra deck very, very easily. So just being able to shuffle most of it back and just get more further into your deck is very, very handy. Triple Desires, you can play 2 if you want to. It's completely up to you. This main deck is very, very flexible. It's very, very nice. It's sort of like how Salmon Great plays. A lot of the techs I play in the deck, you can just swap them out for hand traps. You can take out Desires for another hand trap, Avarice for a hand trap, the 2nd Battle Ocean for a hand trap. Like, it's completely flexible, which is what I really, really like about it. It has its small engine that can just play on its own. Everything else just either stuns your opponent or helps supplements that engine. 3 Book of Moon, just trying to keep this as well budget. Book of Moon is just very, very versatile. You can act as a trap, you can act as on your turn, form as disruption, form as negation in a way. But again, this can be 3 hand traps, whatever you wish. So it's completely up to you. I personally, it sounds stupid, but I personally don't like to put my hand traps in fun decks that are just lying around. I could just pick up and just like have a little play test with. I kind of like to save my hand traps for my most more competitive focused decks as opposed to this. But so that's why I play things that can act as form of hand trap like disruptions, but then you can just easily take them out. It's like, so if you see a deck profile of mine, one of my personal decks that has 3 Book of Moon in it, it's like, cool. You know mentally as a viewer, it's like, okay, cool. Those Book of Moons can just be 3 Imperms, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Ghost Ogres if I want to take this like any place further. So that's why I like to have that kind of mentality in my decks, so that you guys can also have that. It just helps. It helps everybody. 1 copy of Monster Reborn and 3 copies of Call by the Grave to round up the spells. Moving on to chats, 3 copies of Marinecess Wave. I didn't know how cheap the ultras are. I thought this was going to be a lot more expensive, but it did come as a rare in the tins. So Marinecess Wave. If you control Marinecess Link monster, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Negate that face-up monster's effects until the end of the turn. Then, if you control a Link 2 or higher Marinecess monster, all face-up monsters you currently control are unaffected by opponent's card effects until the end of this turn. If you control a Link 3 or higher Marinecess monster, you can activate this card from your hand. Very, very, very nice trap. Like, amazing trap for the deck, basically. So, it's not once per turn, which is very, very nice. So, if you do open up multiple copies of this, you can activate all of them. It is essentially a Imperm in the deck. In-themed Imperm, as it's stupidly easy to get into your Link 3 or high Marinecess monsters. Like, it's just absolutely absurd. What I like about the Marinecess cards, Marinecess traps, is that all of them have that. All of them act like that, where if you control so-and-so Link monster, you can activate it from the hand. So it's very, very nice. It gives a lot more versatility to the deck, gives a lot more protection and stun elements to the deck. It's very, very good. I do take in 1 Marinecess Current as well. So what this card does is that when a Marinecess Link monster you control destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the Link rating of that monster you control times 400. Then if you destroy an opponent's Link monster by that battle, while you control a Link 2 or higher Marinecess monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that destroyed monster's Link rating times 500. You can only activate 1 Marinecess Current per turn. If you control a Link 3 or high Marinecess monster, you can activate this card from your hand. So this is an absolute blowout card. It's really, really cool. I just like to take it as one because it is a once per turn, so you don't want to clog up too many of it. You can search this in the deck, which is very, very handy, and you can recover it as well. So that's why I only play as a one of tech. I do play 2 copies of Paleozoic Dynamistus. I think the Paleozoics, actually I believe they were teched in the deck a long time ago when the Marinecess actually initially came out. Just to give you totally awesome plays, while also just being nice generic water support. Because they act as traps, but they also then revive themselves as water attribute monsters, so you can just easily go into your link monsters, because a lot of your link monsters, if not all of them besides the link ones, just take water attribute monsters. Very, very nice. So Paleozoic Dynamistus, we all know what this does. Discard a card, banish something. If you activate a trap, we summon it. Very, very nice. And then 3 copies of Solemn Strike, just some nice generic effect negation in the deck for you to play. Where's my secret? There she is. Boom. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. We are playing 1 copy of Marinecess Great Bubble Wave and 1 copy of Wonder Heart. These are your main boss monsters in the deck. So Wonder Heart, she just takes 2 water monsters, 2400 attack. 2 plus water monsters, should I say. Once per battle during damage calculation, if this card battles a monster quick effect, you can special one of your Marinecess monsters equipped to this card. Also, this card cannot be destroyed by that battle, and you take no battle damage from that battle. Equip that special summon monster to this card during the end phase. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by opponent's card, you can special summon 1 link 3 or lower Marinecess from your graveyard. So this is your like main beta boss monster, you could say. So this is your boss monster you want to go on the offensive. This one you want to go for more of the defensive. Turn 1, turn 2. Simple. So Great Bubble Reef. I think this is my favourite one. So she takes also 2 plus water monsters, 2600 attack. And once per turn during each standby phase, you can banish 1 water monster from your graveyard or face up on the field and draw 1 card. Each time a monster or monsters is banished face up, this card gains 600 attack for each until the end of this turn. You can send 1 water monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon 1 of your banished Marinecess monsters. You can use each effect of Great Bubble Reef once per turn. So she just gets big, protected under the field spell, gives you consistency, very, very nice. You tend to go with her again, as I said, turn 1, you want to go to Wonder Heart turn 2. For your link 3s, we're playing 1 Trigate Wizard, 1 Transcode Talker, and 1 Marbled Rock. Trigate, you can easily get its effect off to, essentially, you mostly want to use Trigate to go for the double damage effect. This is very, very handy. But you can take a Trigate out easily. You can swap it out for anything. If you want to go to something like Access Code Talker, just for additional pops if you have access to him. No pun intended. Also borrow, just bear in mind you do get locked into waters very, very easily, or any rank 4s if you want to as well. So Trigate's that nice flex spot for you. Transcode, if you're playing a Cyber deck, you tend to play Transcode because it just works so well. And Marbled Rock is your Marinecess link 3. 2 plus water monster, 2500 attack. You can target 1 Marinecess card in graveyard except Marbled Rock, add it to your hand. You can use this effect of Marbled Rock once per turn. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can send 1 Marinecess from your hand to the graveyard for that battle. Monsters you control cannot be destroyed. Also, you take no battle damage. So, in the old days, you'd make her, you get back your Seahorse, which essentially means 1 Seahorse equals a 3 link 3, while also getting her back. So she's just there for the Marinecess target name, essentially. You do make her for that extra damage, mostly again turn 2, so on and so forth, but that's mostly what she's there for. For your link 2s, 1 copy of Crystal Heart, 1 copy of Splash Mage, and 2 copies of Coral Anime. So Crystal Heart, you want to make her if you want to go into your Wonder Heart combo as well with the field spell as well. So Marinecess Crystal Heart, 2 water monsters unaffected by opponent's monster effects while this card is in the extra monster zone. During the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, that opponent's monster is unaffected by card effects, except its own. When this card or your Marinecess link monster this card points to is targeted for an attack, you can send 1 Marinecess monster from your hand to the graveyard for that battle. Your monster cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage. So she is stall, essentially, while also being pseudo effect negation. Splash Mage, 3 extend in the deck, and Coral Anime is 2 water monsters, 2000 attack. You can target 1 water monster with 1500 or less attack in graveyard. Special summon it to your zone this card points to. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except water monsters. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Marinecess card in your graveyard except Color Anime, add it to your hand. You can use each effect of Color Anime once per turn. So if you want to know as well, because I don't believe I actually read it, so Battle Ocean combos well with Crystal Heart, because all Marinecess monsters you control gain 200 attack. Also, each one gains 600 attack for each Marinecess card equipped to it. Monsters you control in the extra monster zone that was linked summoned using Marinecess Crystal Heart as material are unaffected by opponent's card effects. When you link summon a Marinecess monster to an extra monster zone, except during the damage step, you can equip up to 3 Marinecess linked monsters with different names from your graveyard to that linked summoned monster. So now you see why there's a lot of equipping thing going on. For your link ones, we just play 3 of them, which is 1 Sea Angel and 2 Blue Slug. So Sea Angel, it just takes 1 level 4 low Marinecess monster. If this card is linked summon, you can add 1 Marinecess spell from your deck to your hand. You can link summon Marinecess Sea Angel once per turn. So she searches your field spell in the combo. And Blue Slug also takes 1 level 4 lower Marinecess monster. If this card is linked summoned, you can target 1 Marinecess monster in your graveyard except Blue Slug and add it to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except water monsters. You can only link summon Blue Slug once per turn. It just means that you can't like just keep abusing them and keep link summoning them. For the last of the extra egg, we just play 3 Xyz monsters, 1 Abyss Dweller for the lockdown and power boost, 1 Bahamut Shark with totally awesome because we can make link 4s relatively easy. So that's it for the deck. I will quickly run through you the 1 card combo. It's a very easy combo. Again, it just takes either Blue Tang or Seahorse. Completely, like, it doesn't matter which one you open up with. So I'm going to go with Seahorse. Normal summon Seahorse, link Seahorse up into your Blue Slug. We then use the Blue Slug to add Seahorse back to hand. We can then use Seahorse to special summon herself to Blue Slug zone. Link summon Seahorse into Sea Angel. Sea Angel adds you a spell from deck, Marinecess spell from deck to hand. So we're going to add our lovely Battle Ocean. Then going to activate the Battle Ocean, and then we're going to link these 2 off into Splash Mage. We're then going to use Splash Mage to revive a water from our grave in defense mode. Revive the Seahorse. Link these 2 off into Coral Anime. We use then Coral Anime's effect to revive Splash Mage, but then chain Battle Ocean to it. We can then equip these 2 to our Coral Anime, which then she revives the Splash Mage for nice and easy pickings. We then link these 2 off into our Great Bubble Reef. Battle Ocean will activate and equip to our Great Bubble Reef monsters from our graveyard, but then also chain the Coral Anime, because just want to quickly read over. If this card is sent from the field to graveyard, you can target 1 Marinecess card in graveyard and add it to your hand. So we add the Seahorse back to hand. We then equip to the Bubble Reef our Sea Angel and the Coral Anime. And then that's our first turn. With just 1 card, 1 simple Seahorse, or the Blue Tang, you just normal Blue Tang, send Seahorse and keep going with the combo, because then you just get it back to hand with the Slug. We get our Great Bubble Reef, high attack points, equipped with 2 monsters. You can go all 3, but they are later on in the combos, like later on in the game you want them in the graveyard, so you just want to keep 1 of them in grave. Preferably 1 of the link ones. You could also keep the Coral Anime in graveyard as well. That's also something you can do. So you have at least 1 of those equipped to the Great Bubble Reef. Battle Ocean, nice little wall for your opponent having to deal with just 1 card, which you got back anyway, which is absolutely fantastic. So, as always guys, like, comment and subscribe. Till next time, as always, happy dueling.
So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. Exclusively designed by Nixie Nax Arts, we bring you our second exclusive mat with the colossal Rainbow Neos taking on Red Eyes Dragoon, using both Dark Magician and Red Eyes alongside Elemental Hero Neos and of course Rainbow Dragon. Produced by Venom Battle Gear, this is an exclusive mat only available from their site. You can get this mat both with and without zones, and it can be shipped worldwide. What are you waiting for? Visit venombattlegear.co.uk to get your own exclusive Rainbow Neos versus Red Eyes Dragoon playmat.